Pacquiao could face disciplinary action from the Nevada boxing officials for failing to disclose a shoulder injury before his fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Nevada Athletic Commission Chairman said the state attorney general's office will look at why Pacquiao checked no a day before the fight.
Not Pacquiao, but his manager.
Pacquiao and team checked,
Just for the record.
Yeah, so you want to make sure he did. Pacquiao and team checked no a day before the fight, asking if he had a shoulder injury. Meanwhile, Pacquiao will undergo surgery later this week to repair a significant tear in his rotator cuff. He is expected to be out for 9 to 12 months. And Skip wants to make sure that he's being fair to his man Pacquiao. He didn't do it. It was Pacquiao and team. So, but do you blame him? That's the question.
That is the question, Stephen A. Smith. I cannot blame Manny Pacquiao for not disclosing this injury, Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao believed that he had finally dared and taunted and goaded Mayweather into finally taking this fight after 5 long years. And Stephen A., I'm told by members of Manny Pacquiao's camp that Pacquiao feared that if he disclosed just before the fight that he needed surgery for a torn rotator cuff, he feared that Mayweather would finally have the excuse that he would need to bow completely out of the fight. If Manny had to disclose that he needed a surgery that could keep him out for as long as a year, that Floyd would then say, well, what the heck, man? I want to retire in September, as he's told you again and again. And a year from now, with a Floyd Mayweather Jr., 39 going on 40, what are the odds that he would say, okay, now I'll take the Pacquiao fight? So obviously, Manny Pacquiao decided, I think I can still beat him even with very little right hand. And I thought he did beat him round for round. I had it 7-5. We don't have to go back into that. But I thought Manny fought his tail off in that fight with barely a right hand to go with his combo punches. Now, did the manager for Manny Pacquiao blow it for him in the pre-fight form by not disclosing that he had a shoulder injury? Yes, he did, because he could have set up by disclosing a permissible anti-inflammatory shot that Manny could have taken a couple of hours before the fight. That would have been okay with USADA and with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. But, Stephen A., I'm here to tell you, if the cuff is torn, I'm not sure that shot would have done any good on that night, or much good at all. And in the end, I thought Manny Pacquiao still fought a great fight against a great fighter who probably wouldn't have fought Manny Pacquiao a year from now as he did on May the 2nd this past Saturday night. So I do not blame Manny for sucking it up and saying, I just have to try to do this as best I can now.
So let me get this straight, Skip Bayless. Manny Pacquiao, that we saw Saturday night, he lost the fight because he had the torn rotator cuff. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I thought he won the fight, but I would have... Look, would I have picked Manny to knock out your man Floyd if I'd known he had a torn rotator cuff in his right shoulder? There is no way, because his power comes from his power combo. He needs left, right, then left uppercut. And he didn't have it.
So this is why you woke me up and wanted me to come on my day off. But
Absolutely.
This nonsense. This is unbelievable.
You don't want to hear any of this, but it's the truth.
You're right. You are absolutely right. I do not want to hear any of this. You know why, Skip Bayless? Because did it ever occur to you that, you know what, this rotator cuff injury that he had may have been exacerbated, may, dare I say, have even occurred during the fight from all of those blows he was missing while throwing punches at Floyd Mayweather Jr. Could that be possible, Skip Bayless?
No.
Could it be? Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. It could be. Listen, I don't know if you know this, Skip Bayless. I know. Maybe I've kept it from you from time to time. But I am a doctor, honorary and all, from Winston-Salem State University. I kind of know some things about this stuff. Skip Bayless, let me tell you something right now, man. Let me tell you something right now. When you take into account the fact that the man threw over 400 punches, okay, and the man connected on 81, That tells you all you need to know, Skip Bayless. The man missed 81% of his punches. You know what? If I missed that many shots throwing at somebody, I might have a torn rotator cuff too, swinging it air like that. That's probably what happened to Manny Pacquiao. That's really what transpired. So I don't want to hear this nonsense right now. Oh, he's got a torn rotator cuff. That explains it. That's why he was getting schooled. That's why he was missing so much. That's why he was given a boxing lesson that he was given. That's why Floyd Money Mayweather, the best defensive fighter in the game, arguably ever. So slippery, so slick, so skilled, such a magician in the ring, the guy that cracks Da Vinci codes, cracked Manny Pacquiao's code so badly that he caused a rotator cuff. That's really what happened here. I don't want to hear that nonsense. This is ridiculous, okay? Manny Pacquiao stepped into the ring. He looked pretty fine to me. His shoulder looked absolutely fine, Skip, when he was leaning back, holding his hands up, and setting the camera so he could take a selfie. His rotator cuff wasn't bothering him then. Wasn't bothering him when he took the selfie. Wasn't bothering him when he was running his mouth, and they were running their mouth prior to the fight. Didn't bother him when he was walking into the ring. Didn't bother him when he threw the flurry in the 4th round or the 6th round, I might add. But now that we sit here in the aftermath of him getting schooled, you're trying to tell me the rotator cuff was the reason why? Oh, stop it. Just stop it. He got schooled. He got abused. He got sat up there and taught a boxing lesson. He missed almost 400 shots he threw in the direction of Floyd Money Mayweather.
If we'd had some objective judges.
You're the only person.
No, I'm not. Evander Holyfield and others are coming forward now saying the same thing.
Oh, please. Everybody knows he lost the fight. He lost the fight.
Your contention is he tore his rotator cuff during the fight. That's what you're saying, right?
My contention. That's right. Missing all of those shots he was throwing at Floyd Mayweather.
I hope you're kidding. I hope you're kidding. I hope you're flailing because that's all you got today on your day off.
That's all I got. What do you mean that's all I got? Listen, you know what? Let me tell you what I got, Skip. I'll tell you. Let me give you the laundry list of what I have. I have a decision in favor of Mayweather. I have Manny Pacquiao connecting on 19% of his blows.
Oh, please.
I have Freddie Roach and Bob Arum claiming that Manny Pacquiao was in the best shape of his life and ready to go. You know what I also have, Skip, that I didn't even bring up yesterday? And I don't mean to sit there, and I'm not in any way mocking this because I'm not being funny about this. In all seriousness, this spiritual conversion that you brought up, how he was so determined, how he was focused, how so many people out there tried to give the impression that divine intervention would assist the greatness of Manny Pacquiao in taking down Floyd Money Mayweather. They were doing that. I'm not accusing you of doing it.
Not me.
But they were practically doing it. I didn't say you.
Okay.
But they were practically doing it, okay? And when you brought up spiritual conversion, even though you didn't mean to do that, there were other people that took that to interpret it as being such a thing. But in the end, what did it come down to? Because let me tell you something right now. It came down to Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao, the boxer, not the puncher, not the fighter, not the great champion that Manny Pacquiao is, but the Manny Pacquiao against this Floyd Money Mayweather. Money Mayweather was his kryptonite because Money Mayweather is not going to sit up there and trade blows. I guarantee you, if Money Mayweather was a stationary target, we wouldn't have been hearing all of this. We would have heard about how great Manny Pacquiao was, but he got schooled. And that's what happened. I don't care if he's in the hospital getting his. I hope he's okay, and I hope that the operation goes successfully. I wish him no ill will. I don't want to hear all this nonsense about how that was the reason he lost. He lost because he got outboxed by a superior boxer. Period. Period.
Let me get this straight. So Floyd Money Mayweather schooled a one-armed man on Saturday night. I'm impressed by that.
No. Floyd Money Mayweather schooled somebody so badly, he turned him into a one-armed fighter. Because Manny Pacquiao's injury was sustained because he was missing so many shots, more than he had ever missed in his career. That's what happened.
Now let's deal with the facts.
These are facts.
Right after the fight, Yahoo Sports, that Kevin Iole, great boxing writer, approached Bob Arum in the media room and was asking him questions about what happened to Pacquiao, and Arum dropped a little bombshell that, well, he had a shoulder injury, and the more that they checked into it, Arum said, hey, he has the Kobe Bryant injury. Arum said this right after the fight. And he was exactly right, because the MRI yesterday showed the Kobe Bryant rotator cuff injury, and Manny Pacquiao went to Kobe Bryant's surgeon and will have surgery from Kobe's surgeon. I don't know how much more, what more black and white do you need? He's got the MRI. All of our guys wrote about it. Dan Rayfield wrote about it. They know what happened from the MRI. He has a torn rotator cuff, and he had it before the fight. I think they didn't know how serious it was before the fight until they went Monday for the MRI. But I am sorry, I saw a one-arm fighter. I was shocked by how few right hands Manny Pacquiao threw. And even with his left hand, he had Floyd on the ropes and in trouble in round 4 and even in round 6. I thought he fought a stunning fight with basically one hand and one arm. And you're not going to be able to swallow that, because you're just going to try to laugh it off.
I can laugh it off. You know why I can laugh it off? Because like you're quick to point out what Yahoo Sports reported, I don't have to lean on their report. I spoke to Bob Arum on Friday. Bob Arum looked in my face and laughed at the notion that Floyd Mayweather was going to beat Manny Pacquiao.
Why wouldn't he?
I'm sorry. Hold on, wait a minute. You just finished pointing out what he said after the fight. I'm telling you what he said right before the fight.
Well, he's not going to tell you he's got a bum shoulder.
Before the fight. Or almost 24 hours before the fight.
Sure.
Bob Arum sat up there and laughed. He didn't sit there and say Manny Pacquiao was going to win. He laughed.
Freddie Roach laughed. Freddie Roach made you a bet. He was scoffing at you.
And lost. And by the way, props to Freddie Roach. Reached out to me yesterday. He wanted my size shoes, which is a 13.
Oh, that was
and he's
nice
going to send me my Tom Ford shoe.
Oh, wow.
Freddie Roach is coming through.
Good
Major
guy.
props to the all-time trainer. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. I don't want to hear anybody can say anything post-fight after the outcome. Leading into the fight, not a week earlier, not 2 weeks earlier, not 3 weeks earlier, 1 day earlier, I spoke to Bob Arum.
So what? He's not going to tell you.
I spoke to Freddie Roach. Hold it. He told Yahoo. Why wouldn't he tell me?
It was after the
What's
fight. It was after the fight.
What's the problem? All I'm saying to you is this. Anybody can come up with an excuse then. Anybody can do that.
There's an MRI. He's got a torn rotator cuff.
I believe the injury. I'm just saying that I believe it was sustained when he was missing all of those blows.
Well, let me ask you this then, Mr. Smith. Let's not let the facts get in the way of your diatribe here.
Oh, really?
Why would Manny Pacquiao ask for an anti-inflammatory shot 2 hours before the fight for his right shoulder if he didn't have a significant injury in his right shoulder? Why would he ask for that? So wait, he's going to take an anti-inflammatory shot because he knows, maybe God told him that he's going to get hurt during the fight. Is that what you're telling me? Come on, stop it.
You want to talk, but you don't want to listen. You brought up Kobe Bryant.
I don't want to listen.
Kobe Bryant. Remember when Kobe Bryant tore his rotator cuff? It was instant. He immediately grabbed his shoulder. He could barely lift it.
So did Pacquiao.
He went to the locker room that day, and he was done. He was done. Manny Pacquiao supposedly sustained this days, if not weeks before the fight, kept training, showed up Saturday night.
He did.
Stop it. He messed up. He messed it up during the fight.
Facts?
During the fight.
2.5 weeks before the fight, he tore his rotator cuff according to Pacquiao's camp. Do you realize he quit sparring 2.5 weeks before the fight?
Oh, now he quit sparring.
He did. The Filipino media, they were all there, all over it, asking Freddie Roach day after day, what's going on? Why isn't he sparring anymore? And Freddie said, oh, he's sparring off camera. He's doing it at an undisclosed location because he doesn't want so much media watching him sparring. He wasn't sparring at all. I'm sorry. You're wrong. He was hurt. Significant tear.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. What would you be saying if this were Floyd Money Mayweather?
I'd say rematch. Give him another shot.
What would you be saying about the outcome if it were reversed and Floyd Mayweather came out 2 days later and was like, yo, I got a torn rotator cuff. Here's the MRI.
I'd say, you know what?
Blah, blah. What would you be saying, Skip?
I'd be saying Floyd Mayweather deserves another shot. Let's do it again and let's do it right. But we're going to have to wait a whole year until he fully recovers from rotator cuff surgery, which is no minor surgery.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly what this is all about. This is about Manny Pacquiao wanting to send a message to the public that he legitimately deserves a second chance after getting schooled the first time around. But Floyd did tell me Sunday morning he could come get it. It's not a problem as long as Bob Arum and them are willing to put up the money this time instead of making us do it. He has no problem with it. He has no problem with it.
So
he has no problem with it.
A whole year from now, next Cinco de Mayo, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is open to fighting Manny Pacquiao a second time. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what he said. He told me Sunday morning that as long as Bob Arum and Top Rank are willing to put up the money instead of making them do it, he has no problem. He could come get some more. Floyd was planning on retiring in September because that's his last fight. But that would tie Rocky Marciano's all-time record of 49-0.
Yeah.
To eclipse it, he could sit there and beat up on Manny Pacquiao. That's not a problem.
Really?
Let him come.
So he can beat up on a Manny Pacquiao who actually has a right hand in the next fight. That's what you're saying?
So. You're making excuses. You know, I thought you
excuses. He has a torn rotator cuff. I'm not making any excuses. It just is what it is.
Yesterday, when you backed out of your bed and dishonored it by taking off the shirt and the hat for most of the show.
I did not. I wore it. That was the only. I was supposed to wear it on the show.
Yes.
I wore it on the show.
Yes.
I didn't lose. He won the fight. I'm sorry. He won 7 rounds to Floyd's 5. Who was the aggressor in the fight? It was Manny Pacquiao.
Did I not wear Tony Romo's jersey and hat and a cowboy hat on my birthday for the entire 2 hours? Yes. And you couldn't even keep it on for 20 minutes.
Wait.
There's
a big difference. Time out.
You dishonored the bet. That's what you did.
There's a big difference. Cowboy games aren't judged by judges. Do you realize that? You actually win and lose on the field.
No, I'm talking about
Eagles lost on the field. They lost to the Cowboys and they lost to the Redskins and you lost your bet.
Everybody in America knows I showed up and honored my bet and you did it. Everybody knows that.
I didn't lose. I didn't lose. I wore it.
You did lose.
Did I not wear his cap the last 20 minutes of the show? I wore that silly engineer's cap for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
My God, what more can you ask of me?
2 hours.
I need therapy from having to wear that cap.
Kerry Champion.
I'm listening,
help me out here.
Yeah.
2 hours on my birthday.
2 hours on your birthday, you wore the Romo jersey, and you were a good sport about it.
And it's the best you've ever looked on this show. Ever. It's the best dressed you ever were. The cap looked good on you. The jersey fit you.
Time out. So, Stephen A., are you saying that he did not honor the bet? I'm confused.
I'm saying he dishonored the bet. He didn't wear it for 2 hours.
Okay.
You know what?
All right.
The truth is, now that we know about the torn rotator cuff, the bet should have been off. I didn't know that, but it should have been a disqualification of the bet. It should have been off. But the truth is, I won the fight anyway. In my heart of hearts, I believe it with all my heart and soul because the aggressor is supposed to win the round unless there's a knockdown. There were no knockdowns in this fight. The aggressor in at least 7 rounds, if not 8 or 9, was Manny Pacquiao. If we'd had objective judges who weren't blinded by Floyd's reputation for the best defensive fighter in the history of boxing, then maybe we would have had a different outcome. If we would have had at least 1 international judge in the mix of the 3 American judges, we might have had a different outcome. Because as Evander Holyfield said, it was pretty clear to him that Pacquiao won the fight because he was the aggressor. That's what I saw. I tweeted it round by round, 7-5. So why should I come in here and have to wear that stuff that you made me wear when I didn't lose? I won. The judges were wrong.
Because you gave your word and you lost.
Oh, please.
Because you gave your word and you lost.
I lose, but I didn't lose.
It's okay because I never have to worry about a bet again. I'll never honor it to you. Because this is what you do.
10 minutes?
In the end, what it comes down to is this. Manny Pacquiao may have tweaked his shoulder or whatever the case, but it was exacerbated when he stepped in the ring. He lost.
Are you kidding?
He lost. He lost. He missed 400 shots.
So,
period.
Stephen A., from your undisclosed location, are you happy that you joined us from your undisclosed location?
No, I'm not. He's wasting my time this morning. Wasting my time. Wasting my time.
We apologize for wasting your time.
You know what? I need a day off now. Can I have the rest of the show off? You have worn me out for 25 minutes.
Just go.
You're making my head hurt.
Just go.
I have a migraine from you.
Stephen A., please
That's
enjoy the rest of your day off. I hope you
Please
do something. Don't be like
Please
that.
don't.
You're not being a good
I don't
sport.
have a day
I
off.
will, because I'll be away from you.
Okay.
I will.
All right. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Enjoy your time
I'm going to
off.
call you in 5
Don't
minutes.
call
No,
him.
I'm
Don't
not
say
answering.
leave
I
him
will not
alone.
answer this phone.
Stephen A., enjoy your day off.
All right,
Thank you
y'all.
so much
Take
for
care.
being here.
Take care.
They are something, aren't
Ugh.
they? You are something.
I'm sweating from this.
I don't understand.
That man wears me out.
He
wore me
him
out last night.
You just wore him out.
Ugh.
You stressed him out on his day off.
He can
for
have
20
another
minutes.
day off. He can have a week off.
Give him a week off.
Yeah.
Huh? All right. Let's talk about some NBA playoffs, shall we? The Cavs lose game 1. The Bulls look good, and the Cavs, well, they just all right, I guess. What was the problem? All right. You think they look worse than all right?
I don't know.
Oh, boy. Somebody's going to join us on the other side of the break to help break it all down. We'll be back in just a few moments. He wants to make sure that he's being fair to his man, Pacquiao. He didn't do it. It was Pacquiao and team. So, but do you blame him? That's the question.
That is the question, Stephen A. Smith. I cannot blame Manny Pacquiao for not disclosing this injury, Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao believed that he had finally dared and taunted and goaded Mayweather into finally taking this fight after 5 long years. And Stephen A., I'm told by members of Manny Pacquiao's camp that Pacquiao feared that if he disclosed just before the fight that he needed surgery for a torn rotator cuff, he feared that Mayweather would finally have the excuse that he would need to bow completely out of the fight. If Manny had to disclose that he needed a surgery that could keep him out for as long as a year, that Floyd would then say, well, what the heck, man? I want to retire in September, as he's told you again and again. And a year from now, with a Floyd Mayweather Jr., 39 going on 40, what are the odds that he would say, okay, now I'll take the Pacquiao fight? So obviously, Manny
Pacquiao could face disciplinary action from the Nevada boxing officials for failing to disclose a shoulder injury before his fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Nevada Athletic Commission Chairman said the state attorney general's office will look at why Pacquiao checked no a day before the fight.
Not Pacquiao, but his manager.
Pacquiao and team checked, yeah.
Just for the record.
Yeah, so you want to make sure he did. Pacquiao and team checked no a day before the fight, asking if he had a shoulder injury. Meanwhile, Pacquiao will undergo surgery later this week to repair a significant tear in his rotator cuff. He is expected to be out for 9 to 12 months. And
Pacquiao decided, I think I can still beat him even with very little right hand. And I thought he did beat him round for round. I had it 7-5. We don't have to go back into that. But I thought Manny fought his tail off in that fight with barely a right hand to go with his combo punches. Now, did the manager for Manny Pacquiao blow it for him in the pre-fight form by not disclosing that he had a shoulder injury? Yes, he did, because he could have set up by disclosing a permissible anti-inflammatory shot that Manny could have taken a couple of hours before the fight. That would have been okay with USADA and with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. But, Stephen A., I'm here to tell you, if the cuff is torn, I'm not sure that shot would have done any good on that night, or much good at all. And in the end, I thought Manny Pacquiao still fought a great fight against a great fighter who probably wouldn't have fought Manny Pacquiao a year from now as he did on May the 2nd this past Saturday night. So I do not blame Manny for sucking it up and saying, I just have to try to do this as best I can now.
So let me get this straight, Skip Bayless.